are the chances of coming in to have a match with Robbie as a street fight and putting the belt on the line? Joe thought about it and got back to me, said, that sounds like a real good idea. And we went from there. And Robbie, when I had challenged Robbie, he just thought it was going to be a street fight. He didn't realize that the belt got put on the line, wasn't happy about it. But
no, I wasn't happy at all, because it's one of those things to where I agreed to a street fight, and I didn't even want to do that because I felt that was too much, and then you come in asking for a title shot when there's a whole bunch of guys in the locker room who are, I'm not trying to put you down here or belittle you, but they're busting their ass, and they're trying to make a name for themselves just like you have, and they're earning a right to where, I'll take on all comers, but I felt like you kind of skipped that line of everybody else, and I just felt like it wasn't earned, in my opinion. Well, and second of all, your age kind of does, scare me, and I'm not trying to belittle you here.
Let's address two things that you brought up. First of all, we'll address the locker room. Like I said in the promo before, and back in that, you said I jumped the line. Well, all my credentials, all my years in wrestling puts me way ahead of the line. That locker room, you can combine all that locker room, and they don't earn up to Robbie Idol. So I can jump the line on that. They will get their chance after I beat you on August 2nd. I'll take on any one of them or all of them. I don't really care. Second of all,
got the whole Goldberg quote coming out.
So, second of all, everybody, the critics, even some of my friends are questioning my age, saying, "Are you sure about this?" And they're all asking about the age. So you know what I got to say to you, the critics, even my friends that are asking about my age. You know what I got to say to that? Here's what I got to say to you guys. Fuck you all on my age. I'm going to show you guys something. We're going to go back to what took me out of wrestling in 92 when I had the medical condition that took me out. As we were leaving the doctor's office that day, he pulled my wife aside and told her, "You're ready. He's going to be in a wheelchair in 6 months." 7 years later, after that, I returned back to the ring in 99. When he had told me that, I saw him and said, "I fooled you, didn't I?" And he looked at me and he goes, "You're a different breed. I have never seen anybody like you. You are built different than anybody else." And what you're going to find out August 2nd, with all my friends, all the critics, all the doubters, that I'm a rabid dog, and I'm coming in, so you better be ready, Robbie. I'm coming like a rabid dog, and you have been protected all your life by your dad. He's given you opportunities. He's paved the way for you, but he's also had shit handed to you. He has protected you. And this time around, there is no protecting you. It's coming. So be ready. Like I said, I'm coming like a rabid dog. And the only bad thing, because you're a product of what you were brought up, and your dad has no dog in him. And I don't think you have any dog in you. But we're going to find out August 2nd if you have dog, because I definitely know your dad never had dog in him. So August 2nd, be ready. We may be family, but we're going to throw family out the door, out the window, because I've had friends that said, "Hey, man, we're like brothers." And as soon as you turned around, they drove a knife in your back as far as they could. I know there's no loyalty, and you're finding out there's no loyalty in this business. And I've heard you claim I'm like a second father, and I drove a knife in your back when I went for the championship. So I'm showing you there's no loyalty. Like I said, you're a product of your environment, and your dad has no dog in him. And when I came back to wrestling in 99 and became the RWA champion, and he was a champion in some other organization, I challenged him and said, hey, let's unify belts. Let's go put your belt against my belt. And he didn't have the guts to do it. I will give you credit. You got a little bit of guts. You weren't happy that title got put on, but you did sign the contract for it. So I will give you that credit. You got a little bit bigger balls than your dad does. But August 2nd, bring everything you got, because you're going to be in the ring with a rabid dog, and I'm coming like a madman. Like I told Joe and I told you, when I win that title, the next day I'm driving to the Skyway, I'm throwing it over the bridge, and I'm walking away as a champion, and I'm vacating it and said, I'm done. So Joe will have to buy another belt, and anybody can go diving in St. Pete to try to find that belt, but I'm throwing it over, and I'm going to walk away a champion and say, I am done.
Floor's all yours, Mr. Cook.
You got some high hopes, man. You really do. And I don't fully understand if you know what you're getting yourself into. You're going to say that you know what you're getting yourself into, but you're going to, you told me to bring the dog, and you got the dog in you, and you don't know if I got the dog in me. Well, woof, woof. I'm undefeated in TWA. And you think that, my dad is somehow protecting me or is whatever. He has nothing to do with anything that I have accomplished in my wrestling world at all. The only thing he's done for me, believe it or not, is he helped train me. That is it. Other than that, I've been on my own, climbing through the rankings of Florida, the Carolinas, Tennessee, all that places like that. And I'm always compared to my dad, no matter what I do, no matter who I wrestle. Oh, you're not like your dad. You're not like whatever. Your dad helps you out. It's a misconception that he helps me out and that he guides me in different ways and whatever. I'm my own person, man. And August 2nd, you are going to get hurt. There's no way around it.
Well, we're going to find out August 2nd.
You're up in age. You haven't been in a ring in God knows how long. I'm the goddamn champion, man. You know what that means? I am the best that company has to offer. And there's a lot of tough competitors in that company.
Like you said, your dad got you the title shot. Your dad got you the title shot. I know that. He got you the title shot. So
that's your opinion.
Don't say he hasn't protected you.
I've been undefeated.
He got you that opportunity. So, but that's fine. It's going to be like what it was years ago. Between everybody would compare your dad, me, and Rick Ryder. And me and Rick were kind of always the off-cast. So when I beat you, this kind of goes, me and Rick won this thing, because we've always been kind of compared to your dad. And like I said, Rick and I believe your dad couldn't have carried our bags he couldn't carry them to the arena. And I proved that in 99 when I came back and reinvented myself. Your dad didn't have the guts to put his title up against my RWA title to try to unify them, but because he known I had reinvented myself.
And that's on him. I have nothing to do with my dad's decisions or how he's ever handled any piece of business he has to offer. Everybody always thinks we're like we're like this. In reality, we're like this. Like he's got me in the business. If I needed help, he's my dad. He would help me, and if he needs help from me, obviously I have that loyalty, and I would help him. But I don't ask him to hand me anything when it comes to the wrestling business, and nor have I ever asked that. I've always earned every opportunity that I've had, and and this whole misconception of the last time me and you wrestled, you got screwed by the referee. You know, you always think I had something to do with that. You ever just think you're an asshole, and some people just don't. Sorry, I don't know if I can cuss,
Oh,
but
you can cuss.
like some people just don't, you know, perhaps like you, maybe you're not everybody's cup of tea, and maybe that night, you know, he, you know, just didn't like you, and you know, that's the way it goes.
And that's why you brought him back. You got him in your corner again, but that's fine. If I had to beat you and him for that title, I'll beat both of you. I really don't give a shit on that, because, you know, if that's what it takes. And I think that's why you brought Pete back in as your referee, is because, you know, okay, he's going to be on my side. You know, do what you got to do. But like I said, it's just going to be an all-out war on August 2nd.
You're damn right it's going to be an all-out war. And I'll address the Pete thing real fast. Is you came, you asked for a title shot. I felt that was way out of the line. I felt maybe you're trying to play mind games on me and try to get my brain off of defending my belt and trying to see the bigger picture. And then you know what? I figured, well, I'll ask Pete and see if he wants to come referee, and maybe we can get in your head a little bit. You know, it's a street fight. There's no rules. Anything goes. And I'm the damn champion, and I'm going to do what I got to do to protect my belt.
Well, you do what you got to do.
But if you're thinking that I've told him to do anything but call it right down the middle, you're wrong. Just because you guys, you know, may not see eye to eye on things, for some reason you think I'm telling him, oh, he needs to do this, and oh, I'm expecting him to do that. He can handle things however he wants to handle things. He's not a damn kid. He's a grown man who wants pythons in the wilderness, man. And
let's put it this way. I've also remember I traveled with your dad. You're a cook, and I know Bob would do anything to hang on to his title. So guess what? Apple don't fall far from the tree. So I don't put it past you to do anything to keep that title, because you know you ain't keeping it after August 2nd. You know I'm taking it. So I don't put nothing past you. You're a cook. I don't trust you as far as I can throw you. So
well, you know, I'm sorry that you hear that you don't trust me as far as you could throw me. I considered you family, and I always trusted you. But like I said, you coming out and trying to demand a title shot really upset me about that. And it's one of those things to where there's a difference between going into a match in one state of mind of me and you just going in and having a match, and I'm trying to be a nice guy. I'm trying to be a nice friend here and let you get that last spot of sunshine, your one last ride in the sunset before you're probably done forever. And now you just go, oh, let me get a title shot. It's, you know, I get it, but I don't get it. You know, like if you're damn 64, you're 64 damn years old. If you think that you're going to come get into the ring and you know, be moving around like you did 30 years ago, you got to be out of your damn mind. And the fact, and you act like I don't know that you got bad hips, you got bad knees, you're not the healthiest individual walking God's green earth.
Hey, as a neutral party, I will say if Jericho was still doing it at 8,000 years old with Ric Flair, I think Robbie Idol should be able to pull this off.
Hey, you're just upset because, you know, when I beat you, you're at the back of the line. And like I said, you're also upset because I said, I'll throw the damn thing off the Skyway. And now you know that you're going to have to go through a tournament, and you're going to have to go through that whole locker room because they're all pissed off because, you know, I came in, jumped the line. But like I said, and I don't care who I fend back there, they don't have my credentials. You know, they're all vying for spots. I've already proved my spot. I've already earned my spot. I earned my spot a long time ago. Like it, you know, they can all get in the back of the line. And when it's all said and done, be ready for a big tournament, boys, because after I beat you, Robbie, that belt's going off the Skyway, and you guys can all have a big tournament to see who the next champion is. And that's why you're upset, because you definitely don't want to have to go through a tournament because you don't know if you got enough to go through a tournament.
I have no problem going through a tournament. You know, I'm starting to put these little pieces together. Maybe I'm wrong on this, but maybe you're probably going to deny this. You know, Chief Eddie Two Rivers, Mister in the locker room, he lost last. You know, I took the belt off him, and I think he's upset. Maybe he's kind of in your ear a little bit, trying to play mind games with me because he knew that he got knocked out. And he's next in line too he's next in line for a shot too, and Krieger too. In fact, they're doing a number one contendership match. So
I was going to say I was actually going to allude to that after we talked about yours, the number one contendership.
Yeah, well, Joe going to have, you know, the commissioner of the TWA, Joe going to have to rethink all this stuff because, like I said, when I win, the belt's going off the Skyway. I'm vacating it, and then I'll help him put together a tournament. But
hey, let me give you a quick heel turn though, real quick, Mr. Idol.
Okay.
What if you didn't just throw it up the Skyway? What if you held on to it, at least defended it one time against whoever that number one contender is, beat him, and then if you decide to throw it off, that way you, in my opinion, you can't just win it and run away. That's a John Cena-esque move. We don't like chicken shits around here. You can't go back to Hollywood. They
Right,
defend it at least one time.
Right. Well, you can't do no bitch ass move.
Nah, I can't do that.
Well, yeah. Well, you know what? That may not be a bad idea, Johnny, to see who comes out the victor of Chief Eddie or the fake Krieger guy or whatever. You know, trying to be like Tiffany's boyfriend there. You know. So, you know, if that's the case, maybe I have to get ready for one more street fight and put the belt up on the line. It may not be a bad idea, Johnny.
What do you think, Robbie?
I don't think he has a chance in hell of taking the belt from me. But if he did, you know, he's not going to be in any shape or condition to be defending that thing anytime soon, especially against, you know, Chief Eddie or Krieger, whoever wins that match, because both of those guys are tough as nails, you know. I've had my run-ins with Chief, and I admit I didn't think he was as good as he was going to be, and he brought the heat, you know. And Krieger, I've seen him work. He's okay. Real good. He's super technical, you know. If I was you, I would be concerned about about those having to work either one of those two guys. You know, it's not a walk in the park, man.
Hey, like I said, if that's the case, and I got, you know, when I beat you and I defend it one time, like I said, it'll be a street fight. It ain't going to be no technical stuff. We're going street fights. So I don't know if either one of them